Hello everyone. Today's class, let us discuss about interdependency techniques. Fact analysis, cluster analysis and the multidimensional scaling methods are very important and useful for the researchers or academicians in these statistical techniques. We can analyze much data by following this kind of interdependency techniques. You know, here interdependency technique, it is different than this dependency technique. In dependency techniques, we focused more on dependent variable. But coming to this independence technique, here there is no dependent variable. Rather, here the researcher is looking for the underlying structure of the data matrix. Ideally, the independent variables are normal and continuous, with at least 3 or 4 variables are loading onto a factor. Next point is, what is factor analysis? Simple, what is factor analysis? In this factor, it can be used to analyze the structure of all variables. Next point is cluster analysis. In simple, we'll say that this helps to us and it used to us to group the cases or respondents with respect to the structure. You know what is cluster means? It is grouping all similar kind of attributes here. And also here, in order to study the structure of objectives, I mean to say that perceptual mapping method should be used here. I'll show you how a picture forms what is this cluster analysis and the factor analysis here. Yes, if you see these pictures here, simple, we can understand very easy manner what is cluster, what is a factor. As I told you, cluster analysis, here we are clustering or similar kind of variables, similar kind of features all combined together here. See, I'll show you here cluster analysis. See, all grouping, all blue color, here another color, green color. Means to say that it is used to group cases or grouping of all the respondents. And another thing is a factor analysis. If you observe, see, like 1 to V1, V2, V3, V4, all up to V7, all the variables are there. We will do all this factor. Means we can combine all, see, like a factor 1, factor 2. We are trying to reduce the total, all the variables into a small here. So that I would like to say that it is used to analyze the structure of all the variables. Yes. Here clearly is a little bit more you can understand about what exactly the factor analysis, what kind of methods we can use for this factor analysis. You know, as per definition wise, the computational techniques that reduce variables to manageable number. As more number of variables are there, it is difficult for analysis. Such a cases, really this fact analysis will help a lot for the researcher to analyze all the data. And it is a structure of a new set of variables based on relationships in the correlation matrix. Here, just we'll do we'll follow some of the methods for following this factor analysis is that a principal component analysis, a communalities and rotation. That is some kind of methods we can follow in this factor analysis. As usual, this will also go for measurement of all these statistics through this factor analysis. Now the point is how to do this cluster analysis. How we have to follow those steps for this cluster analysis. Means how we can grouping all similar kind of variables combined together. Here some of the steps I'll show you here. See, step 1 is select a sample to be clustered. Means what kind of samples you want to be add together. We have to select all the samples. Then we will go for a defined measurement of those variables. Compute similarities among the entities through correlation, Euclidean, distances and other techniques. Later on, we have to select all mutual exclusive clusters. Later, next point, we have to compare and validate all those clusters. These are the steps we have to follow for this cluster analysis method, the points here. By following all these steps, we are grouping all similar kind of attributes, all the variables we are putting together for analysis purpose. If you see another method, it is also important. It is called as multidimensional scaling. If you read the word multidimensional, means here we focus all kind of dimensional, means all kind of factors we take into consideration. Here we are trying to create a special description of a participant's perception about either product, service or other objects of interest. In this, we can analyze all multidimensional scaling of all the variables we can analyze here for better understanding along with this clustering and also factor analysis. Now let me tell you what is the major important the different point in this cluster analysis and also factor analysis. If you see here, one important point I would like to tell you which is having major difference for both those two things is, in this cluster analysis we are grouping based on the distance. Means we are grouping all the variables here based on the distance. But coming into the factor analysis, we are grouping based on patterns of those variations. Means here we are following the correlation. Means how those variables are behaving, how those are all moving either positive direction or negative direction. Based on those all, we are trying to group in based on the patterns here. One more important point I would like to tell you, in the factor analysis, we form group of variables based on several people responses to those variables. As compared to this cluster analysis, we are group the people based on the responses. Both are opposite. See, in the factor we are considering based on the responses, but here we are grouping the people based on those responses of several variables. See, once a glance about this particular slide, this will help you a lot about cluster analysis and also factor analysis. It will help you to understanding in better way. Now let us discuss about the objectives of cluster analysis. Here, the objectives of the cluster analysis is a taxonomy description, data simplification, relationship identification. These are the important objectives I would like to explain to you in this particular point. I would like to tell you that see, in this taxonomy description, we are identifying groups within the data, and data simplification, the ability to analyze group of similarities, observations instead of all individual observations. Next point is relationship identification. Here, the simplified structure from this cluster analysis portrays the relationship not revealed otherwise. And another important point is theoretical, conceptual and practical considerations must be observed when selecting clustering variables of cluster analysis. Another point is only variables that relate specifically to objectives of the cluster analysis are included here. Another important objective is here variables selected characterize the individuals being clustered. They are the simple objectives for cluster analysis. Here, every researcher is the major intention why he or she is going to use this particular cluster analysis is these are the objectives. Here, it is helpful to group the within the data as well as to all the similar observations by following the simple data simplification, and we also identify relationship identification. See, these are the objectives of cluster analysis. Let me tell you a more detail what the purpose of this cluster analysis. See, in researches and in PhD works and the project related to MBA courses, other works, this cluster analysis and as usual the factor analysis, these all independent methods can be useful a lot. Let me tell you in detail here the purpose of cluster analysis. Here we are grouping the based on the similarity of characteristics of deposits. I mean to say that is homogeneity, heterogeneity. Means homogeneity, all similar kind of things we put together, and as well as different kind of features which are having not homogeneity, those all we put together, that is heterogeneity. That's the major purpose I would like to say about based on this cluster analysis. And then geometrically the objectives within the clusters will be close together while the distance between clusters will be further apart. Along with that, the cluster analysis majority helps us classification. You know, shape, color, some integral angles. These all the points we can categorize, classified based on their the features, similarities of those characteristics. Let me show you all those pictures. Yeah, see, just observe these all points. If you see here, the blue color, rectangular, triangular, circle, and different colors like green color, blue color, yellow color, this purple. These are the colors we have here. Then through this we want to classify like the different features wise. Let me show you this, how we have classified here. Yeah, we classified based on shapes. Square based on another shape, that is circle, another shape is a triangle. In this classification, if you observe, based on shapes are classified. So now I hope you understood the cluster analysis purpose here. Another classification based on, just guess it what it is. Is it shapes? No, it is based on color. Based on that color, the classification completed here. See, all green color, irrespective of the shapes, the group of colors. Green color, point 2, it is a purple, yellow color, and a blue color. That is the other classification based on color. After understanding of this cluster analysis, let me tell you what is this fractal analysis, how it is different than this cluster analysis. Here some of the points I would like to tell you that in this fractal analysis, the procedure used to reduce a large amount of questions into few variables according to their relevance. Here, a large data is there. A researcher, it creates confusion as well as it takes more time for analyze. Such a cases, by using this fractal analysis, we are trying to reduce a large amount of questions into few variables according to their relevance. That's the major point I'm going to tell you in this fractal analysis. As well as it also used to know how many dimensions a variable has. Take an example here, organizational support and supervisory support. Two things, 2 points. Just we are going to reduce the total points here. Another one is interdependence technique. These are the points for understanding, for better understanding of this fractal analysis. Observability is a interdependence techniques. Here we are trying to reduce large amount of questions into a few variables. That is a major point I would like to tell to you. Here the same point again here, that provides a tool for analyzing the structure of interrelationships, that is correlations among variables by defining a set of variables which are highly correlated, known as factors. It assumes to represent dimensions within the data. If you see this particular slide, it helps you to understand a little bit more where exactly the fractal analysis is commonly used. It used in data reduction, it used scale development, and the evaluation of the psychometric quality of a measure, and it is the assessment of the dimensionality of a set of variables. Here some types are there in this fractal analysis. In that exploratory fractal analysis, this is the statistical approach. Here we are trying to determine the correlation among the variables in data set. In this, it can provide you a grouping of variables based on strong correlation, that is called as exploratory fractal analysis. Another point or another method is that confirmatory. Here the researcher has preconceived thoughts about the actual structure of data based on theoretical support or a prior research. This preconceived thoughts are possible in this conformity. as like same the researcher may wish to test hypotheses involving issues as which variable should be grouped together and a factor. These 2 points the researcher can understood conformity. As per that, the selection process can be continuous in this factor analysis. Let me tell you one simple example for better understanding of this factor analysis. That a retail firm identified 80 characteristics of retail stores. Such a case is how the researcher wants to analyze all the 80 characters. It is a big number. Such a case is he or she would like to reduce all the data, then go for analysis and take a decision. Here, and like see, retailer want to find the broader dimensions on which he can conduct the survey, and the factor analysis will be used a lot here. That's why I told you very clear. With all factor analysis, cluster analysis, all will be helpful for the way the data is more. It is like such a cases. These 2 methods, independent techniques, these will be helpful a lot for analysis purpose. Yes, if you observe this particular all the points, you can understand what is the original correlation matrix. Another one is what is like by using factor analysis method. In this factor analysis, just we are like this based on the structure we are grouping here. See here like B1 to B9. Price level, store personnel, return policy, product availability, product quality, depth, assortment of depth, width, all services, all these points, a correlation matrix, like even all this normal correlation factor. But if you observe this, by using factor analysis structure, let's see, based on the same kind of feature variables, here all are grouped. If you see, this is the example of factor analysis to identify the structure within the group of variables. Here V3, like here first point just we consider the return policy. Has done the return policy. Another one is in-store services, a store atmosphere, personnel, and like assortment depth, assortment like width, availability. See the 2 points. The difference. Just observe the difference. In this is general correlation matrix to know how those all the variables move together, but here completely just as per the same kind of features grouped here. Just those all the data has analyzed by following this factor analysis. So finally, after knowing the what is factor analysis, what is cluster analysis, what are the different points between these 2 multidimensional factors, finally, I would like to tell you a factor analysis decision process. How should we take the decisions in this particular method? As all we know that, let's see, just we are trying to reduce the total data. In this process, the decisions may be the objectives of factor analysis, and it helps to design the factor analysis assumptions and deriving the factors and assessing overall fit, interpreting the factors and validation of the fact analysis. Additional use of the factor analysis in research. These are the factor analysis decision process. So, dear friends, this is about points related to cluster analysis, factor analysis. These 2 are comes under independence techniques. This will help you a lot for the beginners. Try to follow these all the points. You understand better way where you can use all those objectives, purpose of this cluster and also factor analysis. Thank you all. Thank you so much.